The market chops, drops, brings it back up, and sets them up shop. Rest in peace, X. This is Invest with Jacob. Okay, guys, so in yesterday's video, we talked about some key levels to make it really simple. Above 52.95 and the bulls were in control and we should be looking higher. Below 52.42 and the bears were in control and we should be looking lower. And in between, that was pretty neutral. The market opened over 52.95 but was unable to hold it, dipping down before closing strongly above that level and now set up to push higher. Now the question is, will the bulls follow through? I'll get into that in just 1 second, but first, if you're new here, welcome to the show, guys. My name is Jacob Gabbard, and this is Invest with Jacob, where we use Elliott Wave Theory to break down the SP 500 and the Nasdaq. I highly encourage you to hit that subscribe button down below so that you can get our daily S&P updates, our trade setups, and our buy alerts. All right, guys, so the market kind of whipsawed again, closing basically flat, but the bulls do have a good setup, so let's jump into the chart and take a look. Okay, guys, so here we are on the 1 hour futures chart for the S&P 500, and we opened the market after a dip down in the overnights. We opened the market back up here around the 5,300 level. They didn't quite get to that level, spiked it, and then reversed down into support, held above the support levels we were looking at, and then pushed it back up over the opening highs, back into Monday's highs to kind of settle the day. So the bulls do have a nice setup here and a chance to push this higher. They are at a pretty critical juncture, and their next critical juncture is about 30 points higher. So let's look at what we were talking about yesterday. We have a pretty clean ABC down. Whether this is a wave 4 or a bigger wave A is to be determined. We have our red, A, B, and then C's down a little lower off the screen. And we have, that would be our bearish count. And we have a black off of this low. If this is wave 4, you have a black A, B, C up towards 5,400. As I have stated many times, my short-term preference is that we go to 5,400. That is what the setup is for. That's what we've been looking for a little while now as we've chopped around, and then down from there. So 5,400 would be the target to the upside. And if you look at the AB setup that we got over on Friday into Monday, and you get a 1, 2, so off of this B wave low for C, you can have 1, 2, 1, 2, and be ready to break out here as they're back at the pivot. If they break out, their target is 53.75. They can extend this. Obviously, wave 3s can extend, so it wouldn't be shocking to see them extend this wave 3 and then get 4 and 5 up into that 5,400 area. But 53.75 to 54.50 or so would be the area I'd look for this to top. When I say 5,400, I don't mean on the nose to the penny. That is just the area I'm looking for. So 53.75, 54.50 would be our targets. And the setup is there for the bulls. They have the 1, 2, 1, 2. They have this AB setup. So this should be a breakout setup for the bulls, assuming they can break over this 53.12, 53.13 high right here. They kind of spiked into it today and failed. Assuming they can do that, the next target would be 53.32 plus. This does coincide with the B wave high and the 764 retrace. So the bears do still have a little bit of hope. I don't give it a lot of credence just yet. I think the bulls still need to make that one more high I've talked about for a while now. And so that 53.30 area becomes pretty important. You can probably expect a pullback off of that area. They need to hold 52.97 if that's the case. If they get up into this area and pull back, I mean, not just 52.97 in general. They have to get up here to the 53.32 area, and then they need to hold 52.97, then up again, and then finishing off the move into the 5,400 area. Likely also rejecting this top the first time through, pulling back, and then breaking out into the 5,400 area for that last high. So that's what we're looking at as our primary count in the bullish. Again, over that 52.95 area, and the bears remain, or the bulls remain in control. And if they happen to break down, they're going to need to break this 52.62 level and then 52.42 in order to get the ball rolling to the downside. Breaking 52.42 does give the bears the ball back, and they can try to take it down and break this low and continue down toward the 51.50 area. So for the bears, they'd be in a different count where this ABC is just an A wave down. So you have ABC of A, and then you have a B wave bounce, and then you would have this A and B, and this B wave can come up a little higher as long as it doesn't take out this B wave high in this 53.30 area. You would expect it to be okay. If it goes up higher than that, it's getting a little too high, and you'd expect the bulls to go ahead and take it higher from there. They can take it a little bit higher here and then try to come down and see. They are still within the 53.06, 53.30 area, but they would need to turn it down pretty quickly. So the 53.30 area becomes really important for the bears if they want to try to keep this down and take it lower. they're going to want to stay below that zone. So again, off the top, the bears would be in an A wave down, a B wave bounce that needs to hold 53.30, and then C down towards 51.50 after that. So our primary path up to 5,400, the bears need to hold 53.30 above that, and it's very likely we're headed back up into this zone here. Over on the Nasdaq, all right, on the Nasdaq we had a very similar setup. We gave you the key levels of 18,800 to break out to the upside, and the 18,435 level here to the downside, which was the low from Monday. Breaking below that would put the bears in control. Breaking back over 18,800, or really over this high now at 18,750, would put the bulls back in control. They kind of made a double top here and pulled back, but they have the same basic setup where you have an ABC down for 4, and then A, B, and remember we're dealing in an ending diagonal and or expanded B wave here, so we're also looking at this as being an ABC move. So you have A, B, and then for C you'd have 1, 2, and then your 1, 2 setup. And then we'd be looking up towards that 19,150, 19,200 area to complete the top on the Nasdaq. They also have that same breakout setup. Now, the bears do still have some hope. They want to keep it under 18,843. If they can keep it under 18,843 on this bounce and pull back and break through this 18,435 area, that would put the bears back in control, and we'd look for them to break this low on their way down to the 17,900 area. So very similar setup on the Nasdaq. You have a count where we're looking to break out over Monday's high and then ultimately over 18,850. Over that puts the bulls firmly in control and on their way towards 19,150 to 19,200. Anything that holds under 18,840 and turns down and breaks through that 18,435 area does put the bears back in control, and we would look for a bigger breakdown from there. So same setup on both charts. Both primary counts are bullish up to the new high, and then we would look for a rollover from there. Guys, if you love the information that I put out in these videos and you want in-depth, real-time updates from me, you need to check out investwithjacob.com. There's a link down in the description. Go ahead and click that link. It'll take you right over to the webpage. Once you're there, check out our membership plans area. We have 2 incredible monthly plans that both come with a 7-day free trial because I want you to get in there. Make sure you love it. Become part of our trading team. Interact with PT and I. And make sure this is for you before you ever spend a penny. You can cancel at any time. We also have our educational material, our Elliott Wave 4 beginners course, as well as our advanced Elliott Wave course. The advanced Elliott Wave course is helping traders understand these complex patterns that we've been looking at, such as a double three, triple three. Right now we're dealing in diagonals, we're dealing in flats, we're dealing in all of these unconventional trading patterns, and it makes it very difficult to understand the market if you're not familiar with them. In each video, we draw out the pattern without the chart so that you can see the fibs, what the pattern's supposed to look like, why it's supposed to look like it, what fibs it's supposed to hit. And then we go into the chart and do an in-depth breakdown of how it looks on the chart. You can see your ABC for your W, X, Y, your triple three here before we get the breakout to the upside, or your double three rather. And the double three is a complex pattern just like the rest of these. Now, as you can see on the screen, traders are really loving this course and it's helping them understand these patterns. But if you're new to Elliott Wave and just getting started, we also have our Elliott Wave for Beginners online course. This course is helping real traders make real money and finally understand the market in a way that makes sense. It can be so confusing when good news makes the market go down, bad news makes the market go up, and for some reason they just spike it here and there. That's because the news cycles simply don't matter, and key levels do. And Elliott knew this, and he knew what the key levels were and what happened when they broke, and he knew what happened when they held, and this gives you a huge trading advantage over the rest of the market. This course is 25 videos. I go through each of 3 sections: the introduction, where I go over your expectations, your mindset and emotion, why this works, and the KISS method, the chart setup and tools, every tool you need to use along with Elliott Wave Theory, why we use it and how to use it, and then the Elliott Wave for Beginners area where I go through each of the waves. I go through the theory of alternation, corrective depth theory, the pivot, all the measurements, how to find the key levels, how to understand a market in a way that makes sense. The cool thing about both courses is if you want both of them and you want to get a discount, you can get our bundle plan, and that essentially makes the beginner's course a $30 course. It's a $37 discount for the bundle. Or if you don't want to pay anything at all, you can simply join one of our monthly rooms and get the courses for free because they're included in both monthly rooms. In our first room, the Invest with Jacob room, you get all of my real-time market updates, all of my buy and sell alerts, all of your Elliott Wave questions answered, a midday video where I go over exactly where we are in the counts and what to expect, as well as all of the training material you just saw. We trade the SPY and the QQQ, and we swing and day trade, so we do trade quite often in my room. Now, if you're looking for futures trading, individual stocks, income trading, and advanced training, you need to check out PT's Throne Room. In there, you get everything you get in the Invest with Jacob room, as well as individual stocks, income trading, which he's killing it with, futures trading, and his reduced risk binary method that crushes the market. He gets you in at a cheap price and gets you big multiples on your money, and it's how he structures those trades. It's so unique. Something you really have to see to understand, and that's another reason we give you that 7-day free trial. He also started a challenge account where he put $4,000 into an account, trading mini ES futures, showing you how to build a small account into a large retirement or savings account. Guys, we'd love to have you in these rooms so we can all make money together. All right, key takeaways for today. The bulls have set up shop. Now can they break out to the upside? We're looking for them to break over Monday's high here. Once they do that, we'd be looking at 53.30 next, 5,400 overall. A break back below 52.42 would be very bad for the bulls and have the bears start taking back control. Over on the Nasdaq, same setup. Bulls are in control, bullish path, bullish primary. They need to break back over Monday's high. Assuming they can do that, the bulls would take control of the market and be looking up toward that 19,150 to 200 area. However, any break back below Monday's low at around 18,435 would put the bears back in control of the market. Guys, that is your market update for today. I will talk to you tomorrow.